So, hello offense. I thought I'd do a quick video that seems to be all the rage at the moment. Just on the back of Wardy's presentation they did last night, which I was unable to get to. I was actually doing some work related stuff in Bolton and Liverpool, and doing some other football stuff, but never mind. Anyway, I just wanted to kind of follow up on what Wardy was saying about some of the key things to do. So he talked about maintaining blocks. I'm reading it off the screen. Maintaining blocks, follow the blocks, perfect routes, and then it's our ball. And really, I wanted to follow up on his last point about it being our ball and how to protect the football. As some of you will know, some of you will probably be aware of, but maybe haven't thought about it quite as clearly as this. American football is an invasion game. And like other invasion games like basketball, netball, hockey, soccer, football, rugby union, rugby league, etc., etc., there are a number of sort of key principles behind how you play when you're in possession of the ball on offence, when you're not in possession of the ball on defence. And obviously special teams is a great situation where you switch from offence to defence or from defence to offence. So on a kick-off, for example, technically you're on offence in possession of the ball, but you kick it away and surrender it and then become defensive players. So we're not in possession. But of course there will be opportunities where we'll cause the kick return team to fumble, pick the ball up, and then we'll be on offence again. So all of the kind of rules and regulations that apply to offence kind of apply to us during the remainder of that play. Punt is another great one where we transition from offence to defence, and obviously punt return we transition from defence protecting against a fake and the offence gaining yardage to becoming a return team where we're actually looking to advance the ball up the field. So back to my original point, eventually, there are three key principles to attacking football when you're in possession of the ball that you need to be aware of, and I'm not going to tell you what the first two are. Perhaps someone can watch this video, have a think about it, try not to use Google, which will save someone like Rob from going on and finding out. Try not to use other sources, but can you come up with what the first two principles are? But the third principle is about maintaining possession of the football, which you do in a number of different ways, and I just want to quickly sort of talk you through one key principle and a few little sort of technical things to help you. So the key principle, I think, about maintaining possession of the football is to always make sure that you put yourself in a position where you're in between the ball and your opponent. So if Yoda up on the shelf is my opponent, for example, I always want to make sure that the ball is in a position where he can't steal it or strip it or do whatever, and obviously have some key grip on it, which I'll talk about in a second. So that's really important. If I'm carrying the ball and I'm running in this direction here past Yoda, then I obviously want to have this ball on this side so that he can't grab it. If perhaps Yoda, through the magic of the Force, comes down and is on this side of me, then perhaps I want to make sure I've got the possession of the ball on this side. So again, I'm putting my body in between my opponent and the ball, and I'm maintaining that position. And that's really crucial from all kinds of perspectives. Particularly, you know, if I'm not the person carrying the ball. So if the ball's over on this side, perhaps with a ball carrier, a teammate who's got the ball, then again the same principle applies to me, even though I'm not in position. Ball's over there. I want to put myself between my opponent and the ball carrier. So in this instance, I'd block Yoda appropriately so that, you know, he's unable to make the tackle. So that's kind of one of the abiding principles of he's gone now of what we do when we've got the ball. And in terms of technique, you'll know, those of you that were there last week, that this ball, you know, is just over a foot in length from point to point. Regulation NFL Wilson Duke ball, but obviously we use a slightly different version of that in our games, but it's still the same measurements and circumferences and diameters and all the rest of it. But importantly, we might talk about 4-point pressure as being one of the techniques by which to secure the ball. So we would talk about fingertips covering the tip of the ball, palm of the hand on the ball. We talk about bringing it into our forearm. We might talk about bringing it into our chest as well, and making sure that those 4 points on the ball are what we use when we carry the ball. And again, we'll use different types of things to coach you. Personally, I prefer the balls to be carried high and tight, so that it's harder to rip from your grip. Some coaches might talk about it being held lower, so it might be held slightly lower, so you maintain possession of it there. And occasionally, obviously you might switch to two hands over the ball. You might switch to two hands protecting the ball like this when you're in traffic. So those are sort of some of the technical and some of the tactical things that you need to work on. For those of you that are going to be ball handlers, obviously, physically, it's about making sure that you're continuing to develop your upper body strength. Grip exercises using tennis balls are good ways to kind of maintain and improve your hand strength, or even if you've got some kind of hand grip strength, and then again that's quite useful to have in addition to any other upper body exercises. Psychologically, I think ball security is a real state of mind, and it's a toughness that you get from playing the game, and that you can develop from playing the game. But it's really being aware of that, and being aware of the situations you're in as well. If someone is attacking the ball as you're carrying it, and you feel like there's a lot of pressure on the ball, then by all means give up advancing. And go down and take the ball to ground. Possession is 9/10 of the law, so to speak, and in American football, possession of the ball is certainly 1/3 of our key attacking principles. So hopefully that's some help for you to understand how we maintain possession of the ball. And again, hit us up for some feedback. That sounded wrong, me saying hit us up. So put some feedback in the comment box below, or obviously feedback in person when you see me next at training on Sunday or one of the midweek sessions. Okay, thanks.